What's up, everyone? So just made it through Washington, just hit Oregon, so one state down, two more to go. So I did end up having a bunch of more bike issues. I'll get to that in a second, but I took care of all of it. I wanted to introduce you guys to my new little friend. But before I do, looks like it's gonna rain and I'm losing a lot of light, so this is a perfect place to do a little stealth camping. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pull over and I'll let you guys in on everything that happened the last couple of days. So it's been a rough last couple of days. So if you see my last video, I ended up getting a flat about 10 miles out from hitting my first shower at the gym. So looking forward to it, but the flat kind of screwed me all up, and it ended up being more than just a flat. It was a guillotined Schrader valve, so I had to go ahead and swap the whole thing out. It was my first time doing it in a long time, so I decided to just pull over. I was close to a place where I could stealth camp, so it kind of worked out. So yeah, I ended up doing that. Ended up trying to fix a couple other things. I had this warp on my back tire that I've had since like day one. Also, I didn't mention it, but I was also having problems with the brake. The disc brakes are, from what I understand, they're real finicky. You know, the littlest thing will kind of throw them off, and you have a bunch of problems with it. I've never had disc brakes before, so I'm not sure if that's pretty normal. But again, from what I read, I had kind of an issue. And I was definitely having issues with my brakes. I had two sets, one on the inside of the handlebars and one on the drops. And the ones on the inside were just pretty much decoration. They were just totally useless. The ones on the outside, the back brake was kind of like, it was half working, half not, which is a bad thing. You know, you definitely don't want to have your front brakes working without your back, unless you want to go flipping. So yeah, so a bunch of little issues. You know, I was trying to resolve all of them while I was stealth camping that night. It was a little bit better. I definitely fixed the flat, got a little bit of the wobble out, but not that great. The bike definitely needed to get trued, a couple of little things. I needed to hit a bike shop, and I was pretty far away from anything. So yeah, the next day I got up, packed everything up, feeling pretty good, feeling pretty confident, you know. I got on the bike about a mile before hitting the gym for my first shower in like 4 or 5 days. I know it sounds nasty, but when you're hiking and bike riding, that's pretty normal. I ended up getting another flat. As soon as I got off the highway, boom, another flat in my back tire. As soon as I got off that off ramp, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So that was cool though. At least it was off the highway, you know. So I just pulled over to the side of the road, found a nice little spot where I could go ahead and take a look at it and see what was up. Ended up losing a spoke. Spoke was completely busted. Opened up my tire, and come to find out it was like a little piece of glass that actually penetrated through the tire into the tube. Well, it was cool, so I went ahead, pulled that apart, went ahead, put the patch on. FYI, you would think you put the patch on like as if it was like super glue and it's all nice and wet, but no, you have to wait for it to get kind of tacky, almost dry. So if you guys haven't patched any tires, at least like me, I haven't done it since I was 15, 20 years ago. Yeah, just remember that. It helps. You won't go through like 2 or 3 patches like I did. So anyways, yeah, put it all together, got it up and running, and the back tire was even worse because, you know, now I busted a spoke, and the brake was screwed up. And like I said, I was kind of over this bike, and I paid dirt for it. I bought it brand new, but I bought it. I bought it. It was so cheap. I don't even want to say where I bought it from because it's kind of embarrassing. But super cheap. Like $200 or something. Not even. So I was kind of over it. Googling bike shops, couldn't find. There was no bike shop in the area. I was like, oh man, you know. I was thinking, where can I buy a bike? I'm like, what am I gonna do? You know. So I was thinking, you know what? Maybe I'll look up a pawn shop and buy like some used tires and just swap out the tires, or maybe even buy another bike and like swap out the tires and the brakes, you know, get rid of those disc brakes and put, you know, the regular brakes, because I still had like the mounts for the regular brakes, and maybe I could try and make that work. Excuse me. So yeah, ended up going to a pawn shop, called them up. They were like, yeah, we got like 100 bikes, whatever. Come, come check it out. I was like, all right. Went there, ended up finding this beautiful Diamondback mountain bike. It had 7 more gears than my other bike. Rode so much smoother. And because it was a mountain bike, it had sturdier tires, heavier duty tires, so it could carry more weight. I wouldn't have to worry about warp and everything else. And it had a rear rack. Actually, let me go ahead and flip it around. I'll show you guys. So there she is. This is my new babe. So yeah, so it has the proper rear rack. It's a Diamondback. 21 gears as opposed to the other one was 14, which made a huge difference. The tires are a bit wider, heavier, so it could take a bigger load. And just overall, just way better than the other one. And again, I mean, I paid $150 for this used. They probably go for like, I don't know, $500. So that with the other $200 I spent on the other bike, I'm only $350 in, which is nothing in the bike world. I mean, people spend thousands of dollars on their bikes. All I got to do is get this to Mexico and I'll be happy. Ended up donating my other bike. So I was outside of the pawn shop. I was putting it all together, just kind of tuning it up, oiling the chain, doing a couple little things to it. And I seen this homeless guy walk by and I offered him my bike and he was more than happy to take it. So it was cool. I was able to help somebody out at the same time. So yeah, so that's my story. I've been riding the last like 5-10 miles and it's been nothing but great. Loving this bike, loving it. This is where I stealth camped last night. So this was home last night. Sorry if you guys can hear all that noise. That's right above there. There's Route 30. So there's a lot of cars going by. So I left the camp, a little stealth camp, and made it about 10 miles down the road. Stopped at this library right here. The other day when I went to yesterday when I went to the gym, I was trying to charge my phone, trying to charge everything up because my solar panels are pretty much useless right now because it's been so cloudy and rainy the last few days. So I wasn't able to get a good charge. I was there for a good hour and a half, and I barely got a charge for some reason. I'm not sure what happened, but decided to stop at this library. I'm going to go ahead and put this video together, post it for you guys, and charge my batteries at the same time. So today's going to be like half a day. Just going to kind of chill out and get all that stuff done. Maybe make it another 5-10 miles or so down the road. So, all right guys, that's it for me. Catch you next time. Peace.